All right, big reveal of the right side of you know what I mean. It's the right side of the motor. I'm gonna look at the valve train. I've looked at that side. It's okay, but still it needs to be cleaned up. I think there's a little bit of condensation in it. Oh, I broke you free. Let me grab the pry bar again. I should probably actually say these two. This end is what I'm most worried about because I don't know how you can see it. This came out of this cylinder, but this is the only cylinder that looked rough. The rest of them looked fine. I mean, it was a little bit of rust, but it's nothing like too crazy. It rotates fine, so I think we got past a sticky spot. But moment of truth. Yeah. Some water. I'm going to do head gaskets and flush as much stuff out as I can. It doesn't look too terrible, honestly. I've never really looked inside an engine. I mean, there's a little bit of play there, but that's probably because that one's not getting lifted or something yet. Yeah, so oil smells fine, honestly. Doesn't smell too crazy. None of these bolts fought me. I mean, the ones with the valve cover were a little sticky, but I kid you not a single bolt from the exhaust manifolds broke. They all broke free with minimal effort, which I've heard is not really common. Looking in here, it doesn't look too bad. It's just oil. I mean, yeah, there's the water and everything. Which again, I'm going to flush and clean to the best of my ability. This whole thing's coming apart except for the crankshaft and the rods. I'm going to keep that in as best as I can because I want to get this thing running. That's the only goal for this truck, is to get it running. This motor has sat outside for so long. That's probably where all the water came from, is outside. I mean, there's a little bit of rust right there, but that's nothing I'm too concerned about. I mean, I've seen worse run on the internet, and granted, I've seen better run on the internet, but overall, this isn't too bad, I would say. I'm just gonna wipe my hands off. Also, don't buy these cheapo Amazon gasket scrapers. Random point, but yeah. This thing, for what it is, for $100, I think I got a pretty good deal. But yeah, all the cylinders, except for this one, looked perfectly fine. So, it had 2 sticky spots before, but I got past those to the best of my knowledge. I can do full rotations now with minimal interference, if none at all. Also, ignore the angle this is at. That bolt is broken. I am gonna fix it as soon as I can. I just gotta wait for Harbor Freight to get their nut extractor set back in stock. So yeah, the left side looks identical to this, so I'm not concerned. But I do still want to take this intake off, which is going to be heavy, but oh well. I'm probably going to take these down to the pressure washer, or to a car wash and pressure wash them, because that's disgusting. Plus, they're kind of dirty on the outside anyway, so we'll see. Also, I've got a rag in the hole, but if you got a distributor for ideally an 88 to 92 F150, 250, 350 with a 5.8 like this motor is, let me know. Bonus points if you're between, say, Paradise to Preston, but if you don't, that's okay. I'm probably just going to go to a junkyard, find all the hardware I need and some other stuff for this motor if it's good. So, yeah. All right, so here's the other side. Like I said, it's kind of identical. It's a little better than that side, but I gotta wonder if that cylinder, those two rockers, let in more moisture than any of the other ones, and it just kind of creeped in and evaporated, condensated, evaporated, condensated. Because I don't know, it's milky, but it's not milky like a blown head gasket. But overall, I mean, I don't see any bent push rods. I don't see anything too bad. It definitely looks okay in here. Sorry about the dipstick. But yeah, I mean, I think it's okay. I've never really been too involved in engine quite like this. Most I've been into is like a little lawnmower, but I believe it. I still do know what does and doesn't look bad. I mean, but yeah, like, it's not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible. So, like I said, I've seen worse run. But yeah, so I'm going to take off this intake, see what the valley looks like. This is the easiest gasket to remove. I kid you not. Like, it came up in mostly that chunk. But yeah, so get this intake off, and I'll be back with some sort of update in any way. So we'll see if push rods are bent. We'll see lifters. We'll see a lot more of what the inside of this motor looks like. I know I've got a light somewhere around here. I guess I don't. But from what I can tell, the intake runners don't look, I think they're runners. They don't look terrible. I mean, they're a little oily and carbony, but they're not like bad. They're not rusty. I mean, there might be a little bit of surface rust I can't see, but it's not terrible. All right, so that was a very, very minor look into my replacement 351 Windsor or my 1990 F250. Hopefully it works and everything goes smooth. So far, it seems pretty promising. Again, I've never worked on an engine of this size. I've never attempted a project like this. I think the most I've ever gone into any sort of vehicle was probably the whole power steering system on my Ranger. So, speaking of which, if you all are interested in seeing kind of like a walk around tour video like I did for my F250, and also maybe a future, what I'm going to do to it over time or something kind of video, let me know, because that would be something I'm definitely interested in making, but I only want to make it if it wants to be seen and watched and everything. So I will have another update soon, maybe this week or next week or next weekend. I gotta go back to Harbor Freight, get a new bit because I broke one of the one of the extractor bits, and it's like the best sized one so that I broke. So that was fun. And also probably exchange the rounded off bolt thing I got for a different one at like an auto parts store or something, because the Quinn set I got kind of sucks. So that's the biggest thing I want to do. Other than I kid you not, 2 bolts are holding me up right now. I think they're like absolutely seized. So when we do rebuild this motor or another one, if I have to swap over to a different motor, I'm going to be putting anti-seize on every single bolt that needs it. I bought a little can of it, figure, it's probably going to be pretty good. So yeah, that's just a quick look into that motor and everything. So I want to see what you guys think about the oil quality. It doesn't look terrible. It doesn't look like a milkshake, but it doesn't look it doesn't look perfect. It doesn't look old. I'd rather have old oil than what's in it right now. But I know that stuff happens. There's probably a reason why the truck that motor came out of was parked. I have yet to find it out because it seems to be a fine motor so far. It spins over just fine. Like I mentioned, it had 2 sticky spots, but I've gotten past those entirely. And other than that, the rust in that one cylinder, every other cylinder looked fantastic. Like the pistons were shiny, like shiny. The light reflected off of them from my shitty TikTok borescope. So, from what I could tell, it all looked fine. And like I said, this is just to get the truck running and driving. Since I do live in an HOA, I found out literally yesterday that to have a vehicle parked on your property, it has to be roadworthy, not junkyard spec. Not that that truck is junkyard spec. And it runs and drives, but it shakes the whole damn thing. So, anyway. But that's kind of just a quick look. Let me know what you think about the quality of that oil. If it appears very well at all. And if it, I need to clean it. That's very obvious. I do anticipate taking the rockers off and everything when I get those cylinder heads out, so I can really clean it to the best of my ability. I'll probably just pressure wash them too while I'm there, because don't worry, I'll dry them out and everything. I'm not going to just leave that water there, or it'll just evaporate by itself just sitting in my garage. But yeah, the cylinder heads, the intake, the valve covers, I'm definitely going to be cleaning, provided it's a good looking motor. I will drain the oil, and I will do my absolute best to film it and taking off the oil pan. I did check the oil one time when I bought it. It looked a little sparkly, but it didn't look like crazy bad. So I don't know. Maybe it just got parked because they didn't want to keep running the truck it came out of or whatever. So I have no idea. The guy I bought the motor from had no idea either. This is a complete shot in the dark motor. So it's kind of a gamble, and like I've said probably a million times at this point, $100 I thought was completely worth it. So yeah, but anyway, thanks for watching this video. I'm definitely gonna have much more just on the tear down side of that motor, let alone putting it in the truck and getting it running and driving. I do still have to go to a junkyard, probably get an entire motor's worth of hardware and a distributor, a couple parts from the emissions or smog system, because I broke the plastics on them, because why make those out of metal? But oh well. So yeah, but thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully that's fairly soon. Shouldn't be crazy long before it gets released. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.